All right, guys, welcome back. Got a pretty interesting one today, probably one of the most fun ones we've had. We say that all the time, but this one is pretty monumental, and it involves Daniel as well. It's a good one. And why am I wearing a hoodie when it's 100 degrees and 125 degrees in this building? But AJ said we got to sell some merch, and that's the only merch we had, so I had to put it on. And my other shirt was real sweaty and bad too. So, to start off, I teased you guys with that wheel. It was dirty and filthy, got it washed, but nobody guessed it. That's because you can't. That was a one-of-one wheel build that, fortunately at the time, we were one of KMC and XD's largest sellers, distributors, buyers, whatever you want to call it. And we had a great relationship with the manager there. And I said, I want something different. I want something nobody else has got. He said, we'll work on it. So they work with Asante. They own a lot of different companies. So it's actually the barrel of an Asante wheel, the background of a KMC wheel that's a two-piece that really never happened. And the two were put together to make a Asante/KMC diesel milled lip wheel. Well, why does that matter? One, it's pretty cool. It's 20 by about 15 and a half, almost 16 inches wide. Nobody made anything that wide at the time. I wanted something a little different. It was on a huge truck, not this one, but one just about as big. And I wanted to be different. And I didn't mind spending the money, which is leading into where this video is going today. If you want to be different and if you want to have something that nobody else has. Those have still never been duplicated. That's the only set in the world. They were built 12, almost 13 years ago. I talked to the guy that built them for me today. He's changed. He's very high up at the company now. But we're figuring 12 to 13 years ago, and I think they were about $4,000 back then. Today's money, that's like 10 grand. But it didn't matter. I wanted something different. You pay to get something different. And I wanted quality. These wheels have never cracked. They never had any problems. They've been on 44s. They've been on multiple trucks. They've towed. They did a good job. So you do get what you pay for these days. And that's where we're going to lead over to Daniel and what he's been working on over here with these new wheels. Y'all been following the square body stuff. You know we love it. And not just square bodies, the classic Fords. Where'd that go? Somewhere. We got a Ford around here, believe it or not. 5-lug, 6-lug, and 8-lug. Old school weld wheels. We also debunked the rumor in one of the last videos about a ton of the Mickey Thompson stuff that people said never happened. And a lot of this stuff about weld that they said never happened. Well, that stuff you can't repeat. It happened. It's all in the video. But we've been working tirelessly for the last couple years, mainly Daniel, with figuring out something we can do that's different than what you can buy, that is going to be strong, it's going to be functional, look good, and different. And yes, we also are very aware somebody else came to market with something similar recently, but they're reaching out, and we know them very well. They know us very well. We both follow each other and have been for a long time. We had a great conversation this morning, and he's reaching out for the bigger wheel guys. He's reaching out for the Super Duty guys. He's reaching out for the newer truck guys, whereas we're trying to cater to a little bit of the older school. But where we overlap is one and the same, a similar product, what could be one of one product, and what people are going to have pride in to put on their vehicles. And in this case, these things are not hardly going to be any more costly than what I spent 12 years ago. And we hope to have it to a level where you can bolt it on your truck within, if it's a normal production, we'll have them where we can ship them to you and have them within a week. We'll try to keep production in stock, because as I buy these trucks and decide I want that truck on that, or I want truck that on that, then we're going to be able to do it. Another thing we realized recently, if you turn around and take a little view of those trucks, people love a square body, but I think they love the Bogger because it's a square looking tire and wheel. So square tire and wheel on a square body truck. We don't know. It's just one of our favorite combinations. But enough talking. We'll let Daniel get into the real deal about what's behind us.
All right, guys. This is what I've been working on for over the past year. It's been a labor of love. This is completely due to giving back to the truck community. It's something that we eat, sleep, and breathe. We don't just run this business and sell this stuff. We have this stuff. So we come from that background. There is no small wide wheel options anymore. At one time you had Weld Racing, and you had Pacer and Mickey Thompson and all these other companies making wheels, Alcoa, that were fitting the bill for the 80s and 90s builds. That went away in the early and late 2000s and pretty much went extinct. couple of Bart stamped steel wheels, black and chrome. Very few welds floating around still. If you find them on Marketplace, people know what they are. It's a great wheel. Is it worth what they're getting for them? Probably not, but ultimately it's the only option. So we've gone through all the manufacturers. We've done reels. I've had custom wheels built. We've stretched welds. We've done it all, and ultimately got tired of trying to chase that stuff down, find it, spend the time to do it. We wanted something of our own. So we finally pulled the trigger, and we are building an all-American made 1512, 1514, and 1516, 8 on 6.5, 6 on 5.5, and soon 5 on 5.5. Full billet centers, full billet barrels, bolt together. Going to be multiple hardware options. I'd rather keep it with ARP 12-point stainless, but cost keeps on going up the more and more quality you put in, and we do realize that there's a certain cap that knocks a lot of people out, and we get it. Not everybody's looking to spend tens of thousands of dollars on tires and wheels on their truck, but they still want that old school vibe. So check out what we got for you.
So he's got 3 different designs and very interchangeable. Of course, one of them's on a 40, 2 of them on 35s, which kind of lead to what we joke about, and one of our customers kind of started it, Davis 1.0, Davis 2.0, but with a square body. Again, going to that as an example, 8 inches looks right with a 35, even though you could run a 37 or a 38 if you went skinnier, but it looks good, it's proper, and then 12 inches runs a 40. And if you look at him on the truck, what he's been working really hard about is getting the offset right. Not that it works for everybody in every state because of the width, but it literally splits that tire almost dead down the middle, which is what really sets these trucks off in the look. But it is very, very important for the back spacing and offset to be right.
And another huge thing is you don't see 15-inch wheels, 8 lug. It's not something that was ever really popular due to brake clearance issues. Since we're doing the aggressive offset, I've got all that figured to where you can run a 15 by 14 or 15 by 16, 8 on 6.5 on a full 1-ton brake setup. So no grinding of the caliper, no spacers, no shims, none of that. Straight bolt on. Now, once again, it is an aggressive offset, but that's what all of our guys are after. That's what we're after. We like the tire hanging out. Like JW stated, it's not for every state, but you're not going to run a 15-inch old school 8-lug wheel in a 10 or a 12 wide without grinding your caliper down on the 1-ton. On a K10, no problem. And like I said, we're going to build these on 6 and 5.5 as well for our K10 guys, even Toyota guys really. So ultimately, it's been a painstaking process. We have gone through a lot of testing. We're still putting them through testing. Our ultimate goal is to have the most structural safe wheel versus just a bolt together race wheel, as a lot of people are selling now. They don't even want to sell it if you're driving it on the street. We know you can drive it, you can ride it. It's not an everyday wheel, you know, all that. They'll tell you the same thing. I'm going after, if you want to daily drive your truck on these wheels, that's what we're after. And once again, we need them for our personal rigs. We know you guys do too. So we've spent a lot of time and a lot of headache trying to get these things built and not being left field on cost. I know that's going to be the biggest question of the video. How much? How much? How much? A set of 15 by 14, 15 by 16s is going to be in the $4,000 to $5,000 range. The reason I say range is because finish quality, bolt type, lug pattern, all that stuff makes a difference. So I can't give it an exact price. Give us comments on what you're looking for. Check out the designs of the wheels in the video. I've got 3 prototypes sitting right there. These are real wheels that we have built and done. I may not release every single one. If y'all are all about the round hole, great. If you're about the slot, cool. If you like the spoke the best, let us know. I'd like to know. We love them all, but ultimately we want to cater to you guys. So let us know what you want in the comments, and reach out to us, davisoffroad.com, sales of Davis Off-Road. Let me know what you want. Let me know if you want to order something. I'll do some pre-orders, but I'm hoping within the next month to have all the testing finished and be able to have these things on the shelf ready to go for you guys.
So when he's talking about finish, just a couple little things. The background on this is actually raw. So if you were going to two-tone the wheel, this barrel has been polished. The background is raw machined billet,
yes,
correct?
6061 billet. So that leads up to another thing. Centers are built out of 6061 billet. I've actually had some 7075 billet centers made, which is going to be the strongest option. You don't see a lot of issue with centers, but once again, we were after the utmost quality, American made, and the strongest wheel possible. So we are going to have some different alloy options for you guys that are really into that. 6061 is your standard for any true billet wheel on the market made. 7075 is that extra notch above, and it's going to be available through us. So once again, lots of options. I'm going to try to narrow them down, and hopefully you guys in the comments will help us narrow it down by saying what you're after or what you want. And we're going to get these things on the market for you guys, because there's a lot of trucks out there that have new school wheels that need some of this old school love. They really do.
And center caps. So we're sticking with old school. That's another big industry for the competitor, we'd call him, but friendly competitor. He does a lot of center cap stuff, billet center caps. We find most people with these wheels really want them raw, like they really want to bolt it on. Truck we're going to put it on has a hub sticking through the front. You got to get to it anyway to lock it. Yep. It's got a big floating rear axle, which is beefy looking with bolts. Some people even color match their bolts. So we find that most people don't care about a center cap, but Daniel finds that a lot of people ordering them do ask about center caps. Yeah. So it will have a push-through cap for the back, open cap for the front, and just for you followers that just like to learn and maybe you'll never buy, it doesn't matter. But if you look at this truck or that truck, you'll see, one, you have to get to it. Like that is an actual thing that you have to be able to turn to lock, so it can't be covered. And you know, you can get it to poke through, whatever. I'm sure he's going to be able to get chrome and stainless, but a few options on that. But raw looks really good. And another thing that he forgot to mention, and I just remembered too. So these are going to be stronger than the other options that are out there as far as the current race wheels. So for you guys that are mud bogging, we've trashed those wheels. We've crashed, rolled, hit walls. We've got them mangled up. We should have a pile of them laying in here just for show. But this wheel is a thicker barrel. It is a thicker background. So you will spend a touch more money, but you should have a wheel that if you have a boo-boo at the track, it might survive it a lot better. Your sand dragging guys, your truck pulling guys, the guys that are using the other wheel that's out there, these should be superior to that in that case too. And you'll have something that doesn't look the same as what everybody else has had for the last 25 years. So that part's will be really good, and we're all about having something different than the next guy. If you have a certain like logo that you want in there, if the machine shop that Daniel is pushing this stuff and making it happen has the ability to do it, it's going to cost you, but there could even be some custom background one-of-one designs, but it's going to run you more money. And then also, of course, powder coating. If you do it in raw finish, you could have that done too.
Correct, yep. And we'll offer the base and machined and polished. So if you want the full polish wheel, great. If you want the machine background with the polished lip, which looks great, that's the way that it's going to be the standard. But the options are endless, guys. We're not doing this to, this isn't a get-rich-quick kind of thing. We're doing this to fully give back to the community. Hopefully it strikes y'all right. I know JW's been preluding to this in a lot of other videos, and I've been working on it well before he even started mentioning to you guys that we had something coming along. So this is monumental for us. We've been doing this for a long time, and we can physically say that we have a Davis off-road wheel now, actually a whole line of wheels. So drop it in the comments, guys. Sorry to be so long-winded, but we're really excited about this. We're going to run the heck out of them on our trucks. Hopefully we can get some of them on y'all's trucks. Let us know. We'd be happy to help.
If it works on the 10-door Suburban, it's going to work on anything. And if it works on the race truck, it'll work on anything. So we've got a few trucks immediately to put them to the real test. So I'm even itching, guys, just as bad as y'all are, because Daniel's holding back a little bit. And just so you can see, too, this is not some stamp stuff or whatever. You can actually see the machine work that the
mill goes
the
through.
Mill, the tool that grinds it out, goes and does all of its work. And it has a nice finish, but this polished would be just as shiny as the background. So great wheel. Kudos to him sticking with it, because we've talked about it and come and gone, and now it's finally happened, guys. So we're proud and very happy to release it. You guys reach out, 804-625-4008 to the shop. You won't always get an answer, but leave a message. Let them know what you're looking for, so when Daniel gets on the phone, he can answer it. And, of course, sales at Davis Off-Road. And drop it in the comments here so we can respond as well. We'll push this across to TikTok and some other different medias so you guys can watch it as well. And also let us know where you're following us from. We'd like to know. Thanks, guys.